Okay, imagine this. It's late at night, quiet residential street somewhere in Germany. Yeah. A car's discovered.
Yeah.
Abandoned, silent.
Right. And inside that car, well, the scene is just horrific.
Yeah, the body of a young woman. And she's been so brutally attacked, especially her face. It's barely recognizable.
Horrifically disfigured.
And her parents, distraught, they identify the body based on, her build, her hair, even the car itself. They start planning a funeral for their daughter.
Police put out a statement. It's a brutal murder investigation.
Then a phone call comes in, a tip, and it just shatters everything. The victim, she's alive, seen driving around, totally fine.
It sounds completely unreal, doesn't it? Like something straight out of a movie. But this actually happened. Germany, 2022. They quickly called it the Doppelganger Murder Case.
And that's what we're diving into today, this truly baffling story. It's more than just a grim crime report, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. It digs deep into identity, into deception, how an investigation can just completely flip on its head when the basic facts aren't what they seem.
So our mission today is to get past those initial shocking headlines. We want to try and piece together the events, what led to this incredible deception.
Explore the plan behind it, which was ingenious, but also frankly, chilling.
Yeah, and uncover the surprising details the investigators found, and maybe think about what drives someone to such extreme lengths.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning. The story really centers on Salaban K. She was 23, a German woman, Iraqi descent, living in Ingolstadt. That's about an hour south of Munich.
And she was pretty active online, right? A known presence.
Very much so. An active beauty blogger, makeup artist on Instagram, built quite a following. We also know she came from a fairly strict family background and she was recently divorced.
That online persona, the beauty blogger aspect, is an interesting contrast, isn't it? This curated image versus the darkness unfolding privately.
It really is. And that online presence becomes a tool, as we'll see.
So, August 2022. Salaban tells her family she's off to Munich. Going to meet her ex-husband, she says, for a discussion. But she's kind of vague about it.
Doesn't give specifics.
Exactly. Hours pass, evening comes, no Salaban. She's not answering calls, not responding to messages. And her parents start to get really worried. This wasn't like her at all.
That's when the panic must have set in. When someone's behavior is completely out of character like that.
For sure. And they got so worried, they actually started looking for her themselves first, didn't they?
Yeah.
Before even calling the police.
Yeah, checking local spots, hoping for the best, I suppose. Just desperate parental fear kicking in.
Which leads them to that horrific discovery. After midnight, early hours of August 16th, they find her, Mercedes, just parked, abandoned, near the Danube River.
And inside, in the back seat, they find the body.
Just unimaginable for them.
A truly gruesome scene. Severely disfigured, especially the face. Multiple stab wounds, slashes. Almost looked like a deliberate attempt to obscure who it was.
But despite that damage, the build, the dark hair, the style, it looked so much like Salaban.
Uncannily similar.
So in that state of shock and grief, her parents, they identify the body as Salaban. The police confirm the car as hers.
And based on that, an initial statement goes out. Salaban K, victim of a brutal murder. Even other relatives who came to pay respects, they also believed it was her.
The investigation kicks off. And naturally, the first focus is the ex-husband. He was supposedly the last person she was meeting. It seems like a clear, tragic case at this point.
But this is exactly where the whole thing just goes completely off the rails. The story hits the German media big time. Everyone's talking about this awful murder.
And before the police can even properly track down the ex-husband, that phone call happens.
Yeah, a citizen calls in, totally stunned. Says they just saw Salaban K, the woman reported dead alive, driving her car, going about her business.
Can you imagine receiving that call?
Yeah.
Must have sounded impossible.
Absolutely. It just completely upended everything the police thought they knew. That one tip forced them to slam the brakes and reconsider that initial identification.
So they had to go back. Forget the visual ID for a moment. They needed hard evidence.
Exactly. Forensic tests were ordered immediately on the body found in the car. They needed something concrete.
And the results? They came back fast.
And decisively. Fingerprint analysis first. Quick check the prints from the body. Not a match for Salaban K. Not hers.
Wow. That must have been the first huge red flag for the investigators. Okay, something is seriously wrong here.
Definitely. Threw the whole case into question, and then came the DNA results.
The definitive answer.
Absolutely irrefutable. DNA proved, beyond any shadow of a doubt, the body in the car was not Salaban K.
Just think about the family. They're preparing a funeral, dealing with this immense grief, and And then they get this news.
The relief must have been overwhelming knowing she's alive. But then just utter confusion.
Total confusion. If that wasn't Salaban, then who was this poor woman? And where on earth was Salaban? The media jumps on this twist, obviously. Everyone's asking the same questions.
So the investigation takes another sharp turn. Priority number 1 now, identify the actual victim.
How did they manage that? It must have been tough with the state of the body.
Forensics again, DNA, dental records, other methods. They eventually identified her as Khadija O, also 23 years old, German of Algerian descent.
And get this, she was also a beauty blogger.
Isn't that something? Lived in Heilbronn, which is, about 240 kilometers away from Ingolstadt, where Salaban lived.
But here's the part that really became central to the whole investigation, the resemblance.
It was uncanny, truly eerie. They were described as looking like twins, like doppelgangers. Same height, dark hair, complexion, even similar makeup styles you mentioned.
Doppelgangers, it sounds like fiction, but there it was.
And crucially, investigators couldn't find any obvious prior connection between Salaban K and Khadija O. No messages, no mutual friends initially flagged, nothing.
Which just screams that this wasn't some random tragic coincidence, right?
Yeah.
How does someone who looks exactly like you end up murdered in your car?
Exactly. It pointed towards something much more calculated, and that's when investigators really dove into Salaban K's digital footprint.
Her social media, that Instagram presence.
Right. And what they found was, shocking. Salaban had created not 1, but 5 fake Instagram accounts.
5? Wow. What was she doing with them?
It appears she was using these fake profiles to contact other women, specifically women who look strikingly similar to her.
Like she was searching, hunting for a lookalike.
It certainly seems that way. Trying to lure them, perhaps. And Khadija O, she was the closest physical match among all the women Salaban contacted through these fake accounts.
Okay, this is getting seriously disturbing. The level of premeditation.
It's chilling. And they found evidence of her attempts. First, Salaban, using 1 fake account, posed as the manager for a German rapper, Loon, I think?
Right, offering Khadija a role in a music video.
Yeah, a pretty common lure, maybe? But Khadija was smart. She got suspicious.
She checked it out.
She messaged the rapper directly. Loon confirmed, nope, total scam, nothing to do with him.
Okay, so Khadija dodged that bullet, but Salaban didn't give up.
Not at all. She just switched tactics, used a different fake account.
What was the new approach?
This time, she posed as a beauty brand, offering Khadija a collaboration, a product review, something totally normal and appealing for a beauty blogger.
Much more believable. Something right in Khadija's world.
Exactly. And this time, Khadija fell for it. She agreed.
And this led to the meeting.
It did. Salaban arranged to pick Khadija up in Heilbronn. And remember that trip Salaban told her family about, meeting her ex in Munich?
That was the cover story.
Precisely. A cover for driving hours away to pick up Khadija. But investigators found something else too. Salaban wasn't alone on this trip.
Who was with her?
Her boyfriend, Shakir K. Also 23. He was with her.
Okay, so he's involved. That explains why he was maybe quiet when she initially went missing.
Immediately, police suspected him as an accomplice. His silence, his presence on that trip, it pointed to collaboration. A conspiracy between the two of them.
So now the pieces are really falling into place, but it's a horrifying picture.
The police theory, based on the evidence, was that Salaban and Shakir picked up Khadija, drove her to a secluded spot, likely a forest somewhere between Heilbronn and Ingolstadt.
And murdered her there.
Brutally. The autopsy was shocking. At least 50 stab wounds to her face, her body, just extreme violence.
That level of violence, especially the face.
Yeah.
It wasn't just about killing her, was it?
It strongly suggests that intent to disfigure, to hinder identification, to make her look even less like herself and perhaps somehow more like Salaban, or at least unidentifiable. It reinforces the whole doppelganger staging.
So they commit this horrific act. Then what?
They put Khadija's body into Salaban's Mercedes, continued the disfigurement perhaps, then drove the car and parked it near Salaban's own home in Ingolstadt.
Parked it where her parents were likely to find it.
Exactly. The intention seems chillingly clear. Stage Salaban's own death. Lead her parents to find the body. Believe it was their daughter, allowing Salaban to disappear.
To fake her own death and escape her life. But why? That's the huge question still hanging there. Why go to such extreme, horrific lengths?
It's the core mystery, motive-wise. The suspects aren't talking, they haven't confessed. But police speculate Salaban desperately wanted to escape something in her life.
Some kind of problem. Family conflict. Debt.
Could be any of those. Maybe overwhelming family pressure, given her background. Maybe financial issues. Maybe a relationship she felt trapped in, though she was with Shakir K. We don't know the specifics.
But whatever it was, faking her death and involving murder to do it, it's just incredibly drastic.
Utterly desperate. It suggests she felt completely cornered, with no other way out. The planning, the coldness, the violence. It points to a really deep-seated, obsessive need to escape whatever the horrific cost to others.
So the plot is uncovered, the real victim identified. Now the police need to find Salaban and Shakir.
Right. Warrants go out immediately. Public appeal for information. The hunt is on.
And German police, they're pretty efficient, aren't they?
Very. It didn't take long. A tip came in from a citizen, leading them to check CCTV at a local pizza place.
And there she was, Salaban on camera.
Confirmed. Alive and well. From there, using surveillance footage, they tracked their movements pretty quickly.
How long did it take to catch them?
Just 3 days after Khadija's body was found, August 19th, 2022, police apprehended Salaban K and Shayer K at Shakir's apartment, not even that far from where they'd left the car.
Wow. So they didn't get very far. What charges did they face initially?
Initially charged with manslaughter, but the legal process is still very much ongoing.
And they're still not cooperating?
No. Complete silence. No confession, no details about the murder weapon, which still hasn't been definitively found, although some knives were located near the scene and are being tested.
That silence must make the prosecution's job harder, but the evidence seems pretty stacked against them.
It's incredibly strong circumstantial evidence. The fake accounts, the messages trying to lure women, Khadija being the lookalike, the cover story, Shakir's involvement, their behavior afterwards being found together.
Yeah, it paints a very clear picture, even without a confession.
Absolutely. Most legal experts observing the case believe they're facing potential life sentences if convicted, despite the lack of a confession or the weapon. The weight of evidence is just immense.
So wrapping this up, what a journey. From a misidentified body in a car
to uncovering this incredibly intricate, chilling plot involving social media, deception, and a doppelganger.
The key moments for me were definitely realizing the victim wasn't Salaban and then learning about the extent of the online manipulation to find Khadija.
Yeah, those social media breadcrumbs leading investigators to the truth. It's quite something. It really makes you think, doesn't it? The lengths people might go to escape their reality.
And how everyday tools like Instagram can be twisted for such dark purposes.
It really underscores that dark potential, but also you have to credit the investigators.
Oh, absolutely. Their persistence, the forensic work, piecing it all together despite the deliberate confusion thrown their way. Incredible work.
The case is still moving through the courts, so the final chapter isn't written yet. We'll definitely keep an eye on development.
For sure. Until our next deep dive, this case really leaves you pondering, what pressures, what hidden motives can push someone to not just contemplate, but actually execute such an extreme and devastating plan. Something to think about.